Here's the summary of the story. Packing by Jerome K Jerome.
I can't get this zipper closed.
List, Carl?
I am sitting on the bag. Just zip it.
Jerome the narrator was proud of his ability to pack anything, so he told his friends George and Horace to leave the packing up to him. To his surprise, they readily agreed to his suggestion. This was not what Jerome intended. His idea was to instruct George and Horace to do the work while he supervises them. He disliked it when people sat idly and did nothing while he did all the work. Jerome was irritated, but he decided to start packing. It took him longer than anticipated, but he finally managed to pack everything. However, just when he was closing to the last bag, Horace asked him if he had packed in the boots. Jerome was annoyed. He thought it was just like Horace to remind him of the boots when he was almost finished with packing. Of course, he had to open the bag and pack the boots inside it. It was then that he remembered his toothbrush. His toothbrush gave him trouble every time he traveled somewhere. He would pack it the night before and unpack it in the morning to use it. Then he would forget to repack it, and would have to rush at the last moment to get his toothbrush and run to the station. He unpacked his bag again, but he could not find the toothbrush. He had to reopen everything again to find it. Finally, he found it inside a boot. Poor Jerome had to repack everything once again. By this time, Jerome was exhausted. He gave in to Horace's suggestion to let him and George do the packing. George and Horace took over from Jerome, but Jerome did not think they would do any better than him. He believed that George and Horace were the worst packers in the entire world. Jerome was right. Almost immediately, they broke a cup. Then Horace packed strawberry jam on top of a tomato. The jam squashed the tomato and they had to scoop the tomato out with a spoon. Jerome said nothing but came over to watch. This made George and Horace even more nervous. They were so nervous that they packed the pies at the bottom and the heavy things on top. The pies were completely smashed. Then they started packing the butter. Jerome had never seen anyone treat a stick of butter the way George and Horace did in his entire life. George stepped onto the butter. He and Horace had to scrape it out of his slipper. Then they tried to put it in a kettle, but that did not work. So they had to scoop out all the butter from the kettle and put it on the chair. Horace then sat on the butter. Now it was stuck to him. George and Horace, not knowing this, looked for the butter everywhere. Finally, George found it sticking to Horace. They managed to get it off Horace and put it back in the teapot. Their packing became more complicated with the addition of Montmorency. Montmorency was Jerome's dog, and it was his ambition in life to get in everyone's way. If he went a day without things being thrown at him, he felt his day wasted. Now he came and sat on the things to be packed. He put his leg into the jam, upset the teapots, and pretended that the lemons were rats. He squashed 3 of the lemons before Horace chased him away with a frying pan. Finally, the packing was done at 12:50. The 3 of them decided to go to bed. George asked them at what time should they wake up. Horace said 7 and George said 6. This led to a debate between the two. In the spirit of compromise, they finally settled on waking up at 6:30. They turned to ask George for his opinion, but he had fallen asleep during the debate. Jerome and Horace placed a bathtub next to him. This way, when he woke up in the morning, he would tumble into it. Finally, Jerome and Harris went to bed as well.